Hi guys, welcome back to the second part of our restaurant logo, and we're back to changing the tracking and the kerning of the word restaurant so we can eliminate some of the space between the letters. So if we go over here to our tracking and click on the arrow, it looks like you can just do a gross move right here to just kind of move things around and see how it goes. Even -100 looks pretty good, so we're going to go ahead and click that. Earlier I tried our kerning and that didn't work very well, but we're going to go ahead and try it again just to see what happens. Make sure you're on 0 and then hit the down. Yeah, it doesn't want us to do that. So we're just going to have to play with our tracking. And I want to go a little bit below 100 to bring those letters even closer together. So I'm just going to type -125 and hit enter. Let's go just a little bit more. -130, and we'll leave it at that. So we're at the bottom of page 242. The very bottom, number 9, says copy both text objects, then click edit on the menu bar, then paste in back. So we'll see if we can get them both at the same time, but we're going to click on hole-in-one, kind of click up at the top to make sure you get it. Press and hold shift on your keyboard and select restaurant. So hopefully we have both of these things selected. And we're going to go to edit, copy, and then edit, paste in back. Fill the back copies of the text with black. So we're going to click on black. You can click on it here, you can click on it here. And then we're going to move our arrow keys on our keyboard 2 points up and 2 points to the right. So here's where you know if you have those actually copied or not. If you don't see that both of these texts have a black copy in the background, that's fine. Just deselect and then go back, select the text that you need to do the same attribute to. Go to edit, copy, edit, paste in back, and then change the fill to black and do exactly what you just did. Save your work. Apply the white-black radial gradient to the small white circle. I'm going to click on the small circle, and then you can come over here to your swatches tool, click on the white-black gradient. We need to make it radial, so in your gradient panel, if your gradient panel is not showing, you need to go to Window and then go to Gradient to get it to show. Click on the white to black gradient. You can see here, we're going to radial. And it's no longer applying, which means that I no longer have this circle selected. So I'm going to click that, make sure it's selected, and then go back and click on radial. Change the ending stop on the gradient ramp to smoke. So I'm going to click on here, press and hold Alt on your keyboard. If you hover over these different swatches, they tell you what it is. There's smoke, click on smoke. Save the new gradient to the swatches panel. So take that new gradient, drag it over to your swatches, let go, double click, and you're going to call this new swatch golf ball. Looks like my caps lock is still on. Hit OK. Fill the large green circle with the golf ball gradient. So you click on your large green circle, click on your golf ball gradient, change the starting color stop to pure yellow. Click that starting stop, press and hold Alt, and then find your pure yellow and click on it. Change the ending color stop to little sprout green. I'm pressing and holding Alt, and then find little sprout green. Click on it. Okay, move the midpoint to 80%, the 80% location. Here's your midpoint, and we can move it to 80%, or we can highlight this and type 80, hit enter. Save the new gradient as the rough. Apply a 2-point black stroke to the large circle. Make sure it's selected. Click on your stroke panel, which I don't see my stroke panel as being open. So I'm going to go to Window and Stroke. Let's expand the stroke panel. And then click on your stroke to have it come forward. Click on Black. And then change the weight to 2 points. We need to click on the smaller circle and do the same thing. Save your work. Adjust a gradient and create a drop shadow. So click Object on the menu bar. I'm going to deselect. I don't know that anything needs to be selected right now. So click Object on the menu bar and Show All. Deselect by clicking the artboard. Select the Now Open and convert the text to outlines. So we're going to go to Type and then Create Outlines. Let's blow up on this so you can see it better. Okay, so the outlines are there. All right. Fill the text with the white to black linear gradient. It's right here. And we have linear. Okay, so what's going on right now is I have made a mistake. This is a good way for you to learn from something that I've done. And I can look over here on my fill and my stroke. My stroke, the gradient actually applied to the stroke. If I blow this up really closely, you can see that the gradient applied to the stroke. And that's not what our book wants us to do. Our book wants us to apply the gradient to the fill. So here's our stroke. I'm going to hit None for stroke. And then I'm going to change the fill. Here's the fill. Have that come forward, and then click on your white to black gradient. That's what your book wants us to do. It says fill the text with the white to black linear gradient. Change the color. Change the starting stop to black. Press and hold Alt on your keyboard. So I'll do that again. So you click on your first stop, press and hold Alt, and then click black. It looks like your text is just filled with black, but technically that's a gradient. It says create an intermediate white stop at the 50% mark on the gradient slider. So if you click right here, just click below, it creates a new stop for you. It wants it to be, the location to be 50%, so I'm going to hit 50 and enter. And now we need to change the color. Notice it's selected because it's white right there. I'm going to press and hold Alt and then click on the white color swatch. There we go. Drag the gradient tool starting at the top of the word Now to the bottom of the word Open. So I'm going to click on my gradient tool and I'm going to click at the top. I'm going to hold Shift to create a straight line and drag all the way down. And now it goes from black to white to the bottom. Okay, change the middle color stop of the gradient to latte. So click here, press and hold Alt, and now we have to find latte. Here we go. Save the new gradient as Flash. So drag that gradient over to your swatches panel, double click. It looks like I have to go back and change that, and we're going to call this Flash. Okay, somehow I clicked off of this, so I need to redo this. I'm going to press and hold Shift, and then click and drag straight down. Alright, let's deselect so I don't change it again on accident. Deselect the text. Delete the green text from the bottom of the artboard. I hit delete on my keyboard after it was selected. Convert the remaining text objects to outlines. So I clicked on this H, press and hold Shift. I'm going to click on the T. Go to Type and create outlines. Now we want to have our stroke come forward, give it a black stroke, and it wants us to have a 2-point black stroke. Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't want us to have a stroke on here. So let's take that stroke off. So here's your stroke. We'll just eliminate it by clicking here. But what it does want us to do is apply a 2-point black stroke to the 2 circles in the illustration. So let's start by clicking here. See if we can catch this circle. And then click on your stroke. Make sure it's forward. And we're going to click on black. It changed our text. We don't want that to happen. So edit, undo, apply swatch. And I want to make sure we can actually get the circle and not the text. So let's try it again. Nope. So that didn't work either. So I'm going to, on the stroke, I'm going to hit none. So let's do this. Let's lock our stroke. So we're going to go to Object, Lock, Selection, so we can't select it. Now I'm going to try and click on that beige circle, and I should be able to select that without selecting the text. I'm going to go to the stroke and click on black, and it worked that time. We want it to be 2 points. And there we go. Okay, so now we're going to go to Object, Unlock All. Then we're going to go to Select All. And Object, Lock, Selection. Save your work. And your book wants us to compare our work to the illustration on page 243. As I'm comparing the illustration, I can see there's one major difference. If I click my text, which first I need to unlock all, so I'm going to unlock all, and I'm seeing that this text has a fill, and I need to get rid of that fill. So I've moved over my text. It was here, and I just took it and moved it over so I could see what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and center it back. And earlier in the book, it had us create outlines. So let's try that and see if that works. My text is selected. I'm going to go to Type and Create Outlines and deselect. It looks like that solved the problem. That's what it's supposed to look like. So let's select everything. I clicked and dragged outside to select it all. You can also go to Select All. And then Object, Lock, Selection, and you are finished with your restaurant logo.